Hello, everyone, and welcome to my special Super Tuesday. As you can see, I am on my bike. Yes, today I'm going to be taking you a bit north to King City. It's a very small community off the 400 and within the King Township. It's a very cool community with older areas and newer areas. And I'm gonna dive in and show you what is happening there. Okay, so hang on tight. In three, two, one, go. So where is King City? King City, just north of Vaughan. It is west of Richmond Hill, Aurora, and Newmarket, just south of Bradford. And if you look up the 400, which is right here, we are about 40 minutes to downtown Toronto. It's very accessible, as you can see. You go on the 400, you get off at King, and King City would be like right here. This is the actual town, and within the town, there's different type of properties, mostly on the older side. And I would have to say that around it, the rural parts have more properties that like estate homes and properties that are about an acre, 2 acres, 3 acres. I will be focusing mostly within the town, and in the town you will have again the older parts of it, and then some new developments as well. So as you can see right here, there's a bit of a new development right here, new subdivisions that are being popping up, and I mean those homes are not cheap, and they are mostly bigger homes, and you don't see too many condensed or high density type of development. So what I'll do is I'm just going to jump in right into some of the numbers, and I'll show you what you can afford in terms of buying a piece of land or a lot with a house on it, because that's what I'm going to be focused on. I'll focus on those properties that are at minimum 50-foot frontage by 150, 200. Those are the lots that you will be able to build on and put custom homes that are going anywhere from 3 million to 5 million. So bear with me and I'll just move on to the next screen. Here are the numbers that I wanted to talk to you about. You will see a bunch of them right here, and I'm just going to put it on the map quickly so you could see where we are. This is King City, as I was mentioning. So properties within the town, not on the outskirts, not in the rural areas. I'm focusing more on those infill lots where there's older bungalows or side splits that builders, probably small builders, I would call them, would pick them up and pretty much put custom homes on. So, like I said, here is the 400. I'll go back into the results. And what I'll do is, if you can look at the sold date column right here, it goes back to October and then all the way to January. If you look at the last one in January of 2023, this one on William, 28 William, it is a bungalow with 50 by 200 feet depth. And this one listed for 990, so for 1.180. So we always trying to look for a benchmark for what a 50 by 150 or 50 by 200 would go for. So if I go back to the height of the market, which was somewhere around January, February of 2022. So this is the area right here. You can see 100 by 150 was sold for 2,250,000. So not that far off from the values that you would see today. So land, the land actually held its value, and I think that builders are now just weighing the cost of building and interest rates, right? The cost of financing, and maybe that's why it's not moving much higher as of right now. You can see also that you see here 1.7 and 1.7. These lots are a bit bigger, so 80 or 132 or 75 by 150 or 200. Those are going for a bit more because they will take bigger homes. And what I'll do is I'm just going to jump into the screen where I'll show you some of those bigger homes. And when I talk about bigger homes, if you look at this column right here where it says square footage, you'll see that the averages there are somewhere around the 5,000 square feet. So those bungalows that were put on 50 or 75 by 150, 200, and you can see the depths right here and the frontages. Those right now are going for big money. I mean, if you look at the custom ones, and I'm just going to give you an example on Norman, and Norman is a 75 by 200 feet deep, and Norman just sold in at the height of the market for it was 4.7 million, and that's in March of 2022. Now, when I talk about custom homes, I'm not talking about subdivisions. Whereas if I'll go to, for example, to Richard Serra, you can see that this home is within a subdivision. It is 78 by 180, and this one, having the size of it, it's also been selling around that mark of 3.5 million. There's another one. I'll give you another example on Raymond Love, sold for 3.3 million as well, and we're going back to March of 2022. Now, if I'm looking at what's happening now in 2023. So I'll take you to another property on James Stokes, sorry, and this one is selling for 2.88, and that was just in February of this year. So there is a bit of a drop, and I'm just going to pick up another one here on 222 Dew Street, listed for 3 million and so for 2.80. And these are not necessarily custom homes. I mean, they do look more fancy and more luxurious. However, they are built within a subdivision. This one, for example, is 62 by 93.64. So not a huge lot. I'll just go for one more sample. And this one on Raymond Love as well, listed for 3.2. So for 3.2, very close to the asking price. And this was December of last year, so the end of last year. Again, bigger houses that are a bit over 5,000 square feet, you can kind of expect as of right now to be between that 3 and 3.5 million, whereas custom homes are a bit more unique. And depending on the size of the lot, if it's really big, then you could be looking at 4.5 to 5.5 million. Again, there is no clear rule or formula for these. I'm just giving you a bit of a tidbit in terms of what's happening in King City. When you buy a lot for, let's say, 1.1, 1.2, 3, 4, and if you put a home on it, and the cost of the building is somewhere around 300 to maybe 350 square feet for high-end materials and finishings, then you are looking at prices that are around that 3.5 to $4 million homes. So that's it for now for King City, for luxurious homes and lots and with houses on them, and what they cost. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Until next time, so long.